Pinterest, there are so many piercing goals like this one or this one, and they all look awesome. But it's really important to get your piercing aftercare right, to make sure they look really pretty and healthy.
Now you're seeing all the things you're gonna need for your piercing aftercare. The first thing you see is a measuring cup, says 1 cup. You need a cup of water with a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. So you have to be really accurate about it. That's why I use measuring cup and measuring spoon, because you don't want to get a solution too concentrated, which will cause your skin to dry out and it will irritate your piercing. Now I'm using hot water to cleanse my measuring cup and measuring spoon, just to make sure it's clean. Now I'm going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of the sea salt. Now I'm just mixing the sea salt with warm water. Usually I put a drop of the tea tree oil into the solution. And this is how I soak my nose piercing. Use a Q-tip to dip some of the sea salt solution and just wipe it around the piercing. Obviously I have no makeup because I just wake up and I'm cleansing my nose. You got to use the Q-tip to clean the inside of your nose, and because it's very unlikely that you can put your whole finger inside your nose and clean it without irritating the piercing.
Right after I sea salt soak my ear, I usually use Q-tips to wipe around the piercing, because there will be some crusty, just to make sure there are no dirt or hair tangled in the piercing. And I don't recommend using tissue or towel to dry it, just let the piercing to be air dry. The aftercare routine you should be doing it twice a day. The first time is immediately after you get up, and the second time is before you sleep. If you went to gym, if you went to swim, you probably should get a sea salt soak again, because the water in the pool is really dirty and the sweat, they all contains bacteria and you don't want to get it. The first one is the sea salt, and you should get the one that is only one ingredient, that is sea salt. Don't get the one that says iodized salt. And another lifesaver is tea tree oil. I got the one from iherb.com, and I will put the links down below. And the tea tree oil has anti-inflammation and antiseptic properties. So what I do is just put 1 drop of the tea tree oil into the whole sea salt solution, and it will be good enough to prevent you having bumps or infection. Keep doing the sea salt soak until your piercing is fully healed. That means a normal cartilage piercing heals about 4 months to 6 months. For me, I would do my sea salt soak for at least 6 months, just to make sure. Other than sea salt soak, there are some rules for you to follow if you want your piercing to be healthy. Number 1, do not use your hands to touch your piercing. Do not play with it, or do not turn your piercing, because it is not necessary for your piercing to heal, and your hands are full of bacteria and viruses that you don't want it on your newly wounded piercing. And the second rule is do not change your piercing before it is fully healed, because it will just traumatize your piercing and make it irritated or even infected. So just don't change it. And if you have to change it because there are some problem, sometimes people will just accidentally knock their nose stud off, and you should probably go back to your piercer as soon as possible. And even after it's fully healed, I recommend you go back to your piercer if you want to change your jewelry, because it's safer that way and you won't be freaked out because you don't know how to do it unless you're really experienced, you have tons of piercings yourself, and that's totally fine. And the first problem is bumps. The bumps can occur really frequently and you don't know why, but sometimes it can occur because number one, the jewelry quality, number two, the size of the jewelry is not right, number three, the type of the jewelry is not right. So you have to confirm that with your piercer. Make sure you do those right and you still get a bump, then that's mostly because you traumatize your piercing by slapped on it or knocked it by accident, and that's totally normal. Just keep on doing your aftercare routine and it will be fine. If you want to remove the bump as soon as possible, what I recommend here is using the tea tree oil. Don't apply the tea tree oil by itself. You have to dilute it because tea tree oil is really concentrated and it will dry out your skin or even irritate your piercing. So make sure that you dilute it before you use it. And today I'm just going to talk about the aftercare routine. And if you want me to do a video about all the troubleshooting gonna happen after you getting the piercing, please leave a comment down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Just to be sure, I'm not a professional piercer. If you want to know more about how to get your piercing, what is the right way that your piercing should be done, please feel free to check out Pangea Piercing. Ta-da! Their channel is run by a very professional group of piercers that they have a piercing studio. They make YouTube videos to tell you how a piercing should be done. Make sure you check them out before you go get your piercing.